selection days, you only got 10 overs to bat, or you got 10 balls to bowl, so you had to show everything that you had.
Yep.
So, this time he's got on top of the bounce. Oh, this is good fun, isn't it? One fast bowler, someone's taking him on.
Fantastic to watch. In front of what's a very good crowd now too. That's just the message to Billy Stanley. You get it wrong, mate, and I'm going to smash you to the fence. So get it right or look out.
And it's 6 inches wider than the one that was dropped at first slip, wasn't it?
Yep.
But he's good enough. He assesses the scenario quickly enough, Virat Kohli. Rare players with so much time on his side, with the determination in those eyes. He'll dig in now.
Good field this from Finch.
Yeah, he's allowed more fielders outside the circle.
Yeah,
he's only got 2.
Yeah, I have been very impressed. As much as Aaron Finch hasn't, obviously his lack of form and lack of runs, but the one thing I think we've all been impressed with was his captaincy.
Yep.
He's actually captained the side really well, and that's not easy when you're not getting runs and you sit up in front of the team and say, okay guys, come on, we want to do this, and you're not make any runs yourself. So been very impressed with Aaron Finch's captaincy skills.
How good was Mark Taylor at that? I thought he was brilliant. Remember 97 Ashes tour, where going into it he had a really tough run of outs, and he just did not change as a captain, did he?
Yeah, the buff. Yeah, no, he was very good, Mark Taylor. Very strong mentally. I remember one of the funny things I started to laugh. I think it was at Bristol in Gloucestershire. We rocked up for a county game after the test match when he runs in the first test. I think it might have been Piers Morgan who was editor.
Quiet fella. You don't hear much from Piers, do you?
Yeah, that's it. Good shot.
And he got someone that might go all the way for 4. Yep, good shot again from Virat Kohli. Anyway, he had some reporter say, Mark, can we have a chat, please? So there's suddenly some guy appeared with his bat that was, I don't know, 1.5 meters wide, and said, do you reckon he could get some runs with this? And he didn't see the funny side to it, Mark Taylor. But he went out that next test match and got 100. And he showed great courage.
Which was the test match where he chose to bat in really tough bowling conditions.
When he was struggling too at Old Trafford. Just shows you, he's a terrific captain. Easily the best captain I played under. He was a magnificent tactician.
Great contest here.
Yep.
Yeah, they said about Mark Taylor, I'd watch him from far away, that if you looked at him at slip chewing the cud, you'd never know if this opposition was 300 for 2 or 100 for 6.
Yeah, and that was the same in the team meetings. Here's the over so far. That was the wide one that Kohli latched onto, remembering that he was dropped in the previous over. Kohli just puts the foot down. Mark Taylor talking about the batting to the batting group, saying too many early wickets. Everyone's going, hang on, mate, you're one of them. But it was a consistent message, and that's something we've seen all summer too, a very consistent forward defence.
Bowled. 88. Now let's keep a close eye on the pace of Zampa. Average speed so far is 89 kilometres an hour. Chahal's was around that 81, I think. So the wrong one will be the slower one. And think you bowl a few to the lefty. There's a wrong one. Didn't get it right, but gets away with it with just the one. Right, I'm looking forward to seeing. Virat Kohli likes to get forward. Never lets a spinner settle. So Zampa here standing at the top of his mark saying, okay, what's my plan to Virat Kohli? I want to get him driving through the offside. I've got to slip in place. So nice slow leggy around off stump. And just let him try and hit the ball to cover. Got protection. That's the shot he wants him playing. So for me, if that's the plan, I'd say it is the plan. And in this situation, there's no point just having the fielders back and letting India take 5 or 6 and over. They're 1 for 53 halfway through the 15th. You need to take wickets. So as much as you've got to look after Adam Zampa a little bit, you still got to try and win the game. So that mid-off and a few people up in the ring and make them try and hit over the top. I think you need to take that risk.
His away record's so much better than his home record.
Well, there's not too many spinners that do really well here in Australia, as we've seen over the years, whether it be Kumble, Murali, all of these bowlers have all been smashed around.
As we white ball though, 9 matches, 8 wickets, only average of 61. I think we need to look at that along with the economy rate too. But away much more.
I would love to know a breakdown of those 9 games, across how many series that is, and how many times he's been like
probably
this
4
series.
years, probably.
Well, at least, and how many times in a series like this current series, you're out for the first 2, then get thrust in for 1, or you start,
good call,
and then you get withdrawn at the end. It's been a challenging run for Zampa in that regard.
Lots of swapping and changing down the team for India with the bowlers, but their top 3 remain the same. Relies so heavily for the one-day success on 1, 2 and 3. So Virat Kohli has got himself going, 25. Dhawan on 20. A couple of superb back-foot shots from Virat Kohli. Stanlake has been impressive. Have a look at this. Just hanging back. He's well inside the crease with those 2 short balls. Now that's something you don't see with Virat Kohli. Not so much on this occasion. My feeling is just had a look at Billy Stanlake, and in his mind he's decided this is a guy that I'm not going to take a big stride forward. And you got that impression when that power on that shot should get a single. A couple of balls that Stanlake pitched up, and have a look at Virat Kohli in the way he's played those balls pitched up. Just hanging back in the crease, very small step. Have a look at that. That's very rare from Virat Kohli. That again, that front foot is very close to the batting crease. Now normally when you saw him in test matches as well, his great strength, the hallmark of Virat Kohli when he's playing fast bowling is gets right forward, big step forward. But he's looked at Stanlake and something about him has got him to just hang back a little bit. And when we saw those 2 boundaries of the back foot, I guess that is what he's decided. That this is a guy who's got a bit of pace, slippery, just going to hang back and try and play this shot.
Yeah, maybe a couple, extra pace certainly, and bounce. He's a very tall man, and perhaps it's the bounce that's keeping him in the back of the crease. Good spot. The other thing from those replays that I would pick up is his body weight. The body weight is still coming forward even though he's stuck in the crease. That's why he plays it so well. I mean, you rightly point out that his foot's barely out of the crease, but actually his body weight is still coming into the ball. I think that's so crucial.
The only reason I've highlighted that is because Virat Kohli rarely sort of just hangs back in the crease, no matter what pace and bounce. Now, this is what Virat Kohli is mostly about. The shadow is what you see with Virat Kohli. Very keen to get forward, whether it's Mitchell Johnson or Jimmy Anderson or Billy Stanlake. But today, he's decided against Stanley, who's been quite impressive. Just hang back a little bit, look for the short ball. And you're just mentioning off air as well, Nick, this might just turn out to look like a good bowling attack going forward for the World Cup for Australia. They have batting issues for sure, but much of those will be sorted with Warner and Steve Smith back.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, one thing I think you look for when you're picking a bowling unit for a World Cup 11 or a one-day international is not so much what you're going to get from the new ball bowlers. They'll almost pick themselves. It's whether you can get wickets over sort of 15 to 40 and who's going to get them. And someone like Billy Stanley can just break a partnership when the going is a bit quiet. Partnership established. There he is on the back foot again. So I like this attack. And Billy Stanley's added to it, and Zampa as well. I would go for ahead of Nathan Lyon, 57 for 1. Good cricketer Marcus Stoinis. Will run short a lot to Shikhar Dhawan. He's played a few pull shots, not with much of power. We've been focusing on Virat Kohli, which is something that the whole world does. But something about him, Virat Kohli, as we watch Marcus Stoinis' one-day career as a bowler. Yeah, when he's out there, Virat Kohli, and running those ones and twos, it seems like gives him as much pleasure as hitting the ball, you know, into the crowd on the rooftops. Oh, taken! Seen a few caught and bowled today. This one's off a seam as Stoinis strikes. Dhawan once again getting a start, but not a big one. Yeah, and he's so angry with himself as he walks off in slight disbelief, just looking around. Have I managed to do that? Well, give some credit to Stoinis. Australia certainly haven't given up. It's been pretty good from Siddle with the new ball. Now Stoinis, Billy Stanley. Just maybe he got stuck in the pitch a little bit, but he poked at it right at the end. Oh, just timing all wrong. It's a very good catch. Very sharp catch from Stoinis. Quite believe that he's managed to hit it back down to the bowler. So Dhawan goes for 23 from 46, 59 for 2.
Pull the trigger! I'm the great Houdini!
India needs a wicket now, don't they?
A slip fielder.
No. Short leg पे क्या जाएगा? Short leg.
And that's lobbed up to short leg.
I told you. I said it.
They can't hear you.
Mr. Shortleg, excuse me. You were right. Very well done. Enjoy your coffee.
Impossible.
Possible है.